The US government is in panic mode now. Stock markets all over the world have started to crash, and it's affecting every single company listed on the US stock market. This includes NASDAQ stocks and, of course, NIO. How did this happen, and what is the next move of the US to help slow down the effects of this global crash? Is NIO going to be okay in the short term? We're seeing a huge dip in NIO's stock today, which is just a continuation of their bear run recently. Will NIO be able to recover from this? And if so, how will they stop the negative effects of the crash of the markets? And what do analysts have to say about the future of NIO? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. It's not every day you hear the US government call an emergency meeting. This time, they're deciding whether or not to cut their interest rates. Why is this so? Last week started off weak for stocks, and things only got worse by the end. On Friday, it was a rough day in the markets. The NASDAQ, where NIO is listed, felt the brunt of it. Just to give you an idea of where things stand, the NASDAQ has dropped by a little over 11% from last month, officially putting it into correction territory. This crash is too big of a number that it affected almost all the companies listed in the NASDAQ. Recent stock prices show that NIO is down almost 9% since the last trading period. It's a scary time to be invested in tech stocks, and the panic is palpable in the market. So, while most indexes are still within a normal trading range, the tech stocks have taken a significant hit. But this is far from the end of the story. These past few days were particularly ugly, and it might not be the worst of it. Overnight, Asian markets were hit hard. Japan's stock market suffered their biggest drop ever in history. Hong Kong, China, and Australia also saw a dip in their respective stock markets. And Taiwan, known for tech and chips, also dropped hard, experiencing the worst stock market dip in 57 years. This morning, European markets are also feeling the pressure. These dips have sparked panic around the globe, with stock markets starting to show signs of crashing. The situation is causing widespread concern as investors brace themselves for potentially more challenging times ahead. It wouldn't be a surprise if big institutions and individual traders alike would want to pull their investments out. This has certainly caught the attention of the top brass in the US Fed, which, as mentioned earlier, called an emergency meeting. The focus of their meeting was to decide whether or not to cut interest rates in the US government as a way to help ease the situation. As we all know, this action can have a somewhat positive effect on the US economy. Lower rates can help boost spending and increase the economic activity of the US. Consequently, this move may also help slow down the effects of the stock market crash in some parts of the world, despite it already happening in the US. Cuts in interest rates can make investments more attractive to institutions and individuals alike. But there are negative impacts of sudden huge cuts in interest rates. For one, the US economy can look weak and panicked, which isn't a great image, and will most likely affect other institutions and individuals. There's also a risk of increasing inflation if the Fed does decide to cut their rates, which can lead to prices of goods and services increasing. How about you? Do you think the US should cut their interest rates? Let us know your thoughts below. How does this affect NIO then? On paper, a cut in the interest rates would most likely benefit US stock markets, including the NASDAQ and the companies listed in it. But NIO's stock is crashing so hard that it might be very challenging for the company to recover. The silver lining in all these is that this is the perfect time for NIO's leadership to step in and show that they're in control. They've been trying to calm the panic their stockholders and investors have. Let's look at the latest news on NIO's front. A surge in autonomous vehicles is opening up exciting new opportunities for the battery swapping industry in China, paving the way for a billion-dollar market in energy storage. In May, Baidu launched its 6th-generation robotaxi services in Wuhan, Hubei province. These autonomous vehicles use a battery swapping system, relying on standardized battery packs and intelligent swapping stations. Each robotaxi schedules its visits to these stations autonomously, based on service status, location, and battery levels, allowing for quick battery swaps that boost operational efficiency. CITIC Securities has projected a significant growth in battery swapping stations, expecting them to reach over 27,000 by 2026, with a remarkable annual growth rate of 93% from 2022. This growth translates into a market size for battery swapping equipment of around $4.2 billion. Baidu's choice to implement battery swapping for its robotaxis was driven by the complete automation of the process, which eliminates the need for manual handling as required with battery charging. This move not only improves efficiency, but also cuts down on labor costs. NIO has been at the forefront of battery swapping technology, and the growing adoption and infrastructure expansion in this sector present a substantial opportunity. On top of this, NIO's vision of their technology being used by day-to-day travelers has come to life, and they're crushing it. NIO recently shared some impressive user mileage figures for its smart driving features from July. The data highlights how well these features have been performing. In July alone, NIO users covered nearly 120 million kilometers using smart driving technology. A huge chunk of this distance was driven with pilot assistance, showing how effective, useful, and stable NIO's technology is. What's even more notable is the growth in urban areas. NIO's users in the cities drove a lot more using smart driving features in cities, marking a significant increase of more than 93% compared to June. This growing usage of NIO's smart driving services is a positive sign for the company's future. As more users engage with these advanced features, it not only enhances the user experience, but also provides valuable data and validation for further development. This growth could play a crucial role in NIO's ongoing innovation and expansion in the electric vehicle market, positioning the company strongly for the future. And that's not all. Today, Ladao, also known as Onvo internationally, made an exciting announcement. They plan to build over 1,000 battery swap stations by the end of the year. With just over 4 months left, they're racing against time to complete this ambitious project. The company aims to have more than 300 of these stations either built or upgraded within a month. According to the reservation information from the L60 community, a significant 69% of users are drawn to the Ladao L60 because of its innovative energy replenishment system. Range anxiety is one of the major problems that users have when considering getting an EV. Almost anyone you'll ask about EVs will most likely have some fear that their car will just get stuck somewhere and won't be able to run because it ran out of juice. Not only is this a huge hassle, but having a short range in EVs can make travel plans more complicated and can certainly compromise the safety of the drivers and its passengers. Can you imagine getting stuck in the middle of a major highway? However, NIO has been able to build an impressive infrastructure to support all their vehicles and give peace of mind to their users. Ladao already boasts an impressive infrastructure with over 1,000 battery swap stations, more than 20,000 proprietary charging piles, and access to over 1 million third-party charging piles. This extensive network eliminates any concerns about battery life. This confidence in Ladao's technology underscores their position as true leaders in the industry. Their commitment to expanding infrastructure and offering convenient energy solutions highlights their innovative approach and dedication to meeting user needs. It's clear that Ladao is setting a high standard in the EV sector, leading the way with cutting-edge technology and user-centric solutions. Considering all the future plans and growth of NIO, it might be safe to say that they can be protected from the crash the stock market has experienced today. These latest updates may have even stopped further crash of NIO's price, which already has been on a bear run. This shows good leadership on NIO's part and their continuous pursuit of advancing the autonomous driving industry. If you want to learn more about NIO and the EV industry in general, you can also click on any of the videos on your screen. And lastly, it would greatly help the channel grow if you interact with the video. Leave a comment, and share this with your friends if you like them to stay updated on the latest happenings with NIO. See you in the next video.